I experienced blatant racism and sexism when I tried to access employment. It became too much for me, and I was swallowed up in the dark abyss of alcoholism, living in the streets and having to defend myself against attempted rapes and all other forms of violence. But I got off this, I just woke up one morning and said, enough is enough. I'm not gonna let the oppressors see me this way, and I'm not gonna abuse myself no more. So I moved to Beaverton, and I quit drinking in June 1980, 7:24 p.m. You don't forget something like that when it changed your life. When I came back to Toronto, I got a summer job at the Native Centre, and I was among my people, so that was great. And also in 1990, when the Oka crisis started, when the Mohawks stood up against the government, I remember telling my family that I was going, and they were against it. So were some members of the community. And I remember telling them that soon they too would have to stand up and fight, because the government's not going to stop what they're doing now. I remember feeling like I was standing up all alone. Growing up, I knew that I was always different from my family. Different in the sense that I always knew that how to speak up against any kind of oppression, and wasn't afraid to do so. And over the years, sure enough, true to my word, Six Nations went to court trying to stop development on our land without any success. So when our people had to take direct actions on February 26, 2000, and earlier on, I dropped everything, and I was going here and came to help. And this is where I finally felt like I wasn't standing up alone. There were people, non-native people, black people, South Asian people, all kinds of races coming to help us. At the time, I had been working on a presentation to present at the United Nations at the Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. And when the April 20th raid by the OPP took place, I spoke to my clan chief to read a statement at the UN, and they agreed. And I really slammed Canada on their genocidal policies towards First Nations people, and also all people. A lot of people seem to think that we have a lot of land base, like the Haldeman Tract, and it is a lot, but there's about 20,000 people, our population at Six Nations. It's the most populous across this land, and still there are people being squeezed off because the government is giving working permits and selling off our land continues to this day to developers. And the OPP go in to enforce their laws on us and protect the rich. And a lot of that overcrowding also forces some of our people to move to the city. And that's how they end up addicted to drugs and also homelessness. I mean, that's some of the times that happens. I believe that the government would go bankrupt if they give us what they owe us. And I don't believe that they could ever repay everything what they stole. Sometimes they return small parcels of land, but they're contaminated dumps. When we intervene, we have injunctions placed on us, criminal charges and lawsuits. This place, and I'm saying this place the government calls Canada, was built on the backs of immigrants and First Nations people who are forced into sweatshop labor. For example, the railroads and other tall buildings such as condominiums that you see. You got a minister talking in the media just this past weekend saying a Liberal senator is calling for a Canadians' first job policy, saying that temporary foreign workers should be banned from the country for stealing jobs from the growing ranks of unemployed Canadians. Who the hell is she to say those kinds of things, you know? Who the hell is she? So when economic times get tough, the axe always falls on immigrants, migrants, and First Nations people. Yet when the economy is healthy, no complaints are made about immigrants taking away jobs, and it isn't said that others will not do the work for such lowly wages in sweatshop-like environments. Of course, the government and other agents of oppression will not state that many of them are immigrants too. Even if they were born here, doesn't mean that their roots lie here. Their foremothers and forefathers came off a boat from somewhere. And I'm talking about Stephen Harper. And this kind of reminds me of an exchange I heard once with a white man. He said, I'm a true Canadian. I was born here. I said, okay, so speak Canadian. He said, I am. I said, that's English. And he walked away in a huff. So as I walk around everywhere, I see so much oppression against our people and who are working damn hard just to stay alive, to survive. We got slum landlords taking advantage of immigrants and other people of color right here in this damn city. My landlord pays $20 for a 14-hour day to some of the people who are unemployed or who are on ODSP or welfare. He exploits them and works them to the bone, and that can't be legal. So some of our victories that I was talking about did not come without a cause. The oppressors know that our nations live and die with our women. So it's been the women who have begun most of these direct actions, like near Caledonia. Dudley George was murdered for standing up against the repression. He had a mother, sister, aunts who loved him. He had people who loved him. A lot of Six Nations people have been charged over taking that direct action near Caledonia. Still, I see that as a victory for us and for other First Nations people from coast to coast and all points in between. Also, it is an inspiration for the Yaqui people in Ficam, Sonora, Mexico, and also Chiapas and Oaxaca. And I have visited those people, and they told me that our struggles gave them strength. We have inspired other like-minded people worldwide. When I look around the room even, and I see a lot of people of every races, and it makes me happy to see that you're here. And the land is here for everybody. And if Seguayliso, Creator, never meant us to be here, we wouldn't be here then. The war on oppression obviously is far from over. And a lot of people don't know that another strategy that they can use is the optional protocol to bring Canada before the United Nations. And I think one of the important things that I have shown in this struggle is that I'm not afraid of anybody. Stephen Harper included, I'll kick his ass too. And I just love all of the people from the four directions. All I really have to say now is that no one, and I mean no one, is truly free unless all of the chains of oppressions are removed from all of us. I look around here at the young people too, the children, and all of you young people, and it inspires hope in me as well. You're the future. Does anybody want to join my army? I believe I still have about 25 to 30 years of struggle left in me. In the meantime, I will continue to fight for all forms of oppression against everybody. I will do this until I take my last breath, and I hope you will too. I thank you for listening to what I have to say.